Hey everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope that you are all feeling very Christmassy because in today's video we're going to be doing some Grinch nails. So I'm going to be using acrylic and water decals for today's design. I'm working on my Glamerliz practice hand. I already have some tips prepped ready to go so we can jump straight in with the design. Now for today's video I'm going to be using my Glitterama acrylics. Now I haven't used the Glitterama acrylics in a little while. I tend to reach for my CJP ones a little bit more, but I felt like using them today so I got them out and yeah, I do really love them. They are a fab brand and the products are really lovely to work with. So here I'm using their Brilliant White, however it was running low so I mixed in a little bit of clear with it just so that I could have the whole set Glitterama rather than using a different brand's white. So it does look slightly softer because I've added that clear. And I'm just doing a full white nail. I've kept this fairly thin because I'm going to be adding my water decal on the top and then encapsulating. So it's just a thin layer of their Brilliant White acrylic. Then on the ring finger, I'm going to do a full green now. Now this green is called Oz, I believe, but I will double check. I'm not in my nail room at the moment, but I will double check and leave all of the names of the products in the description box below anyway. Now I did this nail, or I did the green on this nail a little bit thicker because I wasn't going to add decals to this nail. I was going to do some stamping on the top of it. So I was just going to do a full green nail. So I built up a lot of the nail with the colour. And then I changed my mind and decided I wanted to add some water decals and glitter and encapsulate. So this now in the end did end up a little bit bulky. So if you was recreating this design or something similar, I'd just keep this layer a little bit thinner than what I have done here. I'm going to allow the white and the green to set before adding my water decals, so we're going to move on to the pointer finger. I'm coming in with Glitterama's All Natural. I've placed that right down at the cuticle area and then I'm just tapping it up into place and pulling the colour down towards the free edge. I don't need to worry about creating full coverage at the free edge because we're going to be doing a glitter fade, so the glitter will cover the tip area anyway. But I'm just making sure the cuticle area is nice and neat and that there's enough coverage on the nail bed area. So I did just come in with another small bead here just to make that a little bit more opaque, keeping the application as neat as possible. And then for the glitter fade, I'm using a pre-mixed glitter acrylic from Glitterama as well. So I've just placed that down at the tip and I'm just tapping it into place, and then I'm going to flip my brush around and feather it back. I'm working really gently when I'm feathering it back because you don't want to pull too much of that glitter or acrylic down the nail. So really nice light strokes with the brush. And then I'm just going to come in with a little bit more to build up the coverage. Again, using nice light strokes because you don't want to pull too much of the glitter off. Just working that fade a little bit more down the nail just so it fades out nicely and looks appealing to the eye. And then over the top of that I'm coming in with another one of Glitterama's glitter mixes. Again, it's a pre-mixed with your clear acrylic so it applies really easily, and I just tapped some of that on because it's got some green and holographic pieces in there as well, so it just added a little something extra. Moving on to the little finger, I'm going to be doing a marble. Now, when I picked up my Glitterama acrylics, one of the things I remembered is I absolutely love them for marbling. They work slightly wetter than the CJP acrylics, so I find them a lot better for marbling if I'm honest. So I'm using the red, the green and the white for the marble, and I'm placing down wet beads. To begin with, I was showing you that I double dipped my brush, one half into the green and one half into the red, just to get a nice neat cuticle line, and then I'm just placing wet beads down for my marble. So I'm placing those beads down, making sure they're sort of close together or touching each other, and then I'm just running my brush through them, going up and down the nail, taking it from one side to the other. And then I just like to gently tap the sides of the nail just to keep that acrylic into the shape of the nail, just because then it's going to reduce your filing. Just added it a little bit more at the tip here just to touch that up slightly. And then I was really pleased with how this marble turned out. I loved the green and the red together. And now it's time to come and apply our water decals. So I'm using these Grinch decals from Candy Nails UK. So the first image I'm going to be using is this one in the middle. And I'm basically going to cut this out as close to the image as possible. So I do like to go all the way around, and then if I can cut off a little bit more, I will do so. Just because anything where there's the white, you're going to have the excess clear part of the decal, and you want to try and limit the amount of excess you have. And then we're going to pop that decal in some water to soak. Now here I was using cold water. I just grabbed it straight from the tap. I wasn't prepared. And it meant that the decal needed a little bit longer to soak. So you'll see here I take it out and it just doesn't want to remove from the backing paper yet. So I popped it back in to soak for a little bit longer. Personally, usually when I'm using water decals, I will pop them in either room temperature water or slightly warm water, and it just means they soak off that backing paper within a couple of seconds. But if you do use cold water, the only difference is it's going to take a little bit longer to soak. So I think this needed about 20-30 seconds. And then you can see here it just slides off, and I'm trying to pick it up with my tweezers. And then I'm going to place that down straight on to the acrylic nail. Now today I'm encapsulating my water decals in acrylic, and this is because on the green nail I decided that I wanted to add some glitter. I was going to add glitter on this white nail as well, but I changed my mind because I kind of liked just how the Grinch looked against the white background. But that was the reason why I opted to encapsulate them in acrylic rather than just add top coat over the top, because I just wanted some glitter in there as well. So this is how I personally will apply them when I'm applying them into acrylic. I will get my decal into place, and then further along in the video you will see that I top coat the decal, just the water decal, and then I will encapsulate in acrylic, but I'll explain that a little bit more when we get to it. For now, I'm just moving that water decal around into place until I'm happy with it. You want to make sure you're being really gentle with these water decals because they are quite delicate, so don't play around with them too much if you don't have to. Then once I'm happy with how that's placed, I'm just going to dab off some of the excess water using a lint-free pad. Just giving that a little clean up. You don't want to have too much water there, otherwise it's just going to take longer to dry. So if you are able to dab some of that off, then go ahead and do so. But like I said, just make sure to be nice and careful. And I just love how it looks. I love water decals. They are such a quick and easy way of doing nail art. So moving on to the next nail, I'm going to be using another one of the Grinches from that pack. So I went for this one, and I'm just going to cut it out exactly the same as before, getting as close to the image as possible. Now this is a full nail image, so it's designed to do an entire nail. However, I was working on quite a long set of nails, so this one wouldn't fully cover the nail, but I quite liked how it turned out anyway. Now whilst that water decal is soaking, I'm going to come in and top coat over the top of the previous one we applied. I'm not top coating over the entire nail because I'm going to be encapsulating this in acrylic. I'm just top coating over the water decal, and that's because I was choosing to encapsulate these with acrylic. That layer of top coat just protects the water decal from your monomer. It's a really fab trick as well if you're doing anything with foils and you want to encapsulate those as well. So then we're going to jump back and apply this water decal. So I did just speed through this part of the video because I'd already showed you applying the previous one, but I'm just placing that down on the nail. It is a larger image, so it can be a little bit more tricky, so just take your time with them. I'm just using my fingers once again to pull the image nice and taut and get out any creases. And then I'm just positioning it where I want it to be. Those areas where you can still see the green acrylic, that's where I'm going to come in and apply some glitter anyway. I'm just really smoothing that out, and then I will come in and trim off any excess. So because of how I'd placed the image, most of the excess was this side of the nail. So I'm just trimming it off on this side with my scissors. And then on the other side, I've got an old nail art brush and some acetone that I'm just going to clean up any overhang with. But still for now, I'm just faffing about making sure that it's lying nice and smooth. And then here I'm coming in with that acetone and just cleaning off. This will basically melt away any of that excess image that you don't want. You really don't want to encapsulate this with the image hanging over the sides, because it could cause the acrylic to peel, especially if you was doing this set on yourself or a client. So once I've removed all of that excess, I'm just going to come in and dab off any excess water, same as before, using the lint-free pad. Then I'm going to come and top coat over the Grinch. So I'm just applying a really thin layer of top coat. You don't need loads because, like I said, it's simply to protect that water decal from the monomer. Now that the top coat has cured, I'm going to come in and add a little bit of glitter. So this is the same as one of the mixes I used on the pointer finger. So it is a pre-mixed glitter acrylic. So I'm just applying a little bit of that around the cuticle area and a little bit of the tip as well. Now this nail, it wasn't what I had in mind. I changed it up halfway through. So the whole application is a little bit different to how I would normally have done it, if I'm honest. However, you know, I was quite happy with how it turned out still. And also I just wanted to say, these water decals, in the instructions it does tell you that they should be applied to a white base, and they will pop a whole lot better over a white base. But again, because I changed up what I was doing in this set, I already had the green base down, so I just worked with what I had, but I still liked how it turned out. And then once I've finished applying that glitter, that's all of the design work done. So this is how the nails looked. And I'm then going to come in and encapsulate. So I'm using the Glitterama clear acrylic to encapsulate. I've just placed a medium-sized bead down, tapped it up towards the cuticle area, and then I'm tilting my finger down so that acrylic naturally flows down the nail. And then I'm just using my brush to pull it in at the sides and tap it into place, trying to keep my shape as best as I can. So that's why you can see I'm running my brush quite lightly over the nail and just bringing that acrylic into the center of the nail. I'm just trying to keep my application as neat as possible, because then I'm going to have a minimal finish filing to do at the end. So once I'm happy with that, I'm just coming in with another small bead of acrylic up at that cuticle area, tapping it up into place and then pulling it down over the previous bead of acrylic. And then I'm going to move on and do exactly the same on the ring finger. So I'm picking up a medium to large size bead of acrylic, placing it right down at that cuticle area, tapping it up into place and then walking it down the rest of the nail. The biggest thing that helps here is tilting that nail downwards, because it just helps your acrylic flow down the nail and you have minimal work to actually do with the product, if that makes sense. I'm just neatening it up at those side walls again, like I said, just because then I'm going to have a minimal finish filing to do. And then here I felt as though I hadn't fully encapsulated the tip area, so I'm just applying a small bead there, blending it back and then taking it down right to the very tip of the nail. Especially because there's glitter there, you need to make sure that that's all fully encapsulated. And then I did cap the last two nails off camera because it's all the same really. And then I did all of the filing off camera as well. So this is what the finished result looked like. And we're then ready to come in and top coat. So I'm just going to apply a nice even layer of no wipe top coat to all of these nails, and I will then pop them in to cure. Now I'm using the Premier Gel no wipe top coat here, and I think this is one of their older formulas, and to be honest, I'm not loving it. I did feel as though it kept separating a little bit, and yeah, I'm just not loving it. But I've got so many top coats in my kit, and I have my favourite ones which I always reach for, which are my CJP ones and my Kiki London ones. But I feel like I need to get some of these other top coats used up because they're just sitting there going to waste. So that was why I used this one today, but I'm not 100% loving it, if I'm honest. But once I have finished applying that, like I said, I popped it into cure for 60 seconds. And that, guys, is pretty much the end of the video. So I did rush a little bit to get this set edited and uploaded on my channel, because I've got a couple of Christmas videos sitting on my phone, which I obviously need to try and get uploaded before Christmas. But it has just been a mental couple of weeks. But I do hope you all enjoyed watching, and I hope that you are all keeping safe and well and making the most or enjoying the festive period as best you can in these crazy times. If you did enjoy watching the video, then please give it a thumbs up or let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would absolutely love it if you hit that subscribe button. I shall hopefully see you all again in the next couple of days with my next video if I get it uploaded on time. Once again, thanks for watching. Lots of love. Bye bye.